became this. So the business cycle starts with creating new products that work. Obviously that's a given, but when we started in the infomercial business, that really wasn't an assumption. It was you create products and shows that can sell. But John and I made the decision that we wanted to have a company that would last for a long time and create some real value. So we wanted the products to work so that people might come back and buy something again. So that was the original premise. And I think we've stayed to that very well. We test everything that we do, which leads us to the next part of the cycle. And that is show real proof that they work. Now, I say your results, that goes for me too. I did not want to spend a couple weeks in my basement learning how to dance. I promise you. Truth, like every day, I would be texting on my phone, Michael, we have got to find a better way to announce this product. I can't stand it. It's not my thing. And he's like, no, come on, it gets better. And then he's telling me, he's sharing with me how he managed to get there. And so I'm like, okay. So finally sort of put the moves together, and you guys have been very kind. You're posting nice videos. I can't even watch myself. It's ridiculous. But look, you show real proof that the products work, and that's where your results matter. This is also linking to the vital behaviors, but it's my business model too. It's the way I operate. Your proof is such an important step in the overall piece of this. And it doesn't have to be just your one transition. Life goes up and down, right? I mean, you lose weight, look, I got in great shape with Power 90 when we first started it. And then it was 3 or 4 years later, I got in better shape with P90X, but I was like, well, this is kind of weird because I got in such good shape with Power 90. What happened between those two things? It was a pizza party. I got resisted. But no, life happens, and that part of that vulnerability and that truth is part of what we do. When we say everyone matters, it includes us, and we don't have to be perfect. We just need to be honest. And so when we talk about everyone matters, and we talk about showing your results, you share them, and that attracts people, and that's proof, and that's what they can rely on, so that they can believe that the whole thing makes sense. The whole ecosystem is connected. Now, next part of the job, compel people to start. It started by creating infomercials, and it started with having you amazing, in here, whatever we got, I don't know, 10,000 people or something, but out there, 238,000 or close to 240,000 coaches who are compelling people to start. But an important part of that is not just to get them to the starting line, it's to retain them long enough to see results. In fact, it's interesting. We've had some celebrities come in and say, I want to be a coach. Let me use my influence as a celebrity, and I'll show proof that I've used the results. But it doesn't work. There's another step to this business that requires getting down on the ground and talking to people and retaining them, connecting with them, holding them accountable to their goals to get them to see results. Infomercials just tell the story. The reason that you are a better aspect of this business model of helping people achieve their goals is because you can retain them so that they can see results. And once you do that, you're on that next step of the journey to success. And then the third step, give people an incentive to share their results and attract others. We got the t-shirt, we got the Beachbody Challenge, and we have coaching. It's funny. It's so frustrating. I'll share a personal story with you, but just keep it in here. Last night, I'm doing photos with people, and it's awesome, and people tell me their stories and everything, and people are saying, I lost 65 pounds. I'm like, it's all because of you. I'm like, no, it's not. It's because you did the work. I'm like, I'm so proud. Thank you so much. I'm like, and did you submit your results to the Beachbody Challenge? And she's like, I should do that. And I'm like, what? We don't do this for us, we do it for the business model, but this concept of giving away $500 every single day to somebody to recognize their results and showcasing these people every day all over the place and recognizing that is so that the whole ecosystem, that we're all helping each other. We want to share your results. Don't wait just till the end. You do it when you have that first, even if it's just a 3-day refresh, submit them, man. We want a torrent. We want a virtual avalanche of results. So you get the free t-shirt, and then you show that, hey, I got the free t-shirt. You post that, it gives you stuff to talk about. And of course, coaching. Now look, I think that what I've heard when I speak to coaches, that one of the great steps in this process is somebody gets their results and you say, hey, can I post your results on my page? Or would you post your results on my page? And then they post them up there and then people say, oh, great job, you're awesome, it's fantastic. Oh, you're smiling in both shots or whatever. You got tan, your tattoo switched sides. Please, really? Oh my God, take a second, just take a beat. So nice. But what happens is you see all these comments and then you as a coach get a chance to say, you're already coaching. Right there, you've got people who are already compelled and are interested in what we're doing here. Just so happens you happen to post that on my page or whatever, so now I'm going to pick them up as clients, but you could have, sorry. But the point is, it's an incentive to share their results, and then they can attract more people. And then what happens? They've got the t-shirt, or they enter the challenge, or they become a coach. One comment about that. I know that most people that you interact with will say, you know, I'd rather become a coach after I get my transformation. I think that's the normal, the logical thing. I have to be honest with you, it's not the way I would do it if I were a prospect. And I want you to feel free to recommend this to your prospects. I'm not trying to just load in coaches, but I do think that a very compelling part of the process is the struggle at the beginning. And when people are vulnerable, when they share the challenges and the difficulties of going through that process, they actually will attract people to them. They'll attract support, and they can build their challenge group, or even their start day as a new coach. I just signed up to be a coach. I don't really know what it means. I'm not a fitness expert, I'm not a nutrition expert, but I'd love to have people join me in my challenge group. We're going to do 21-day fix, we're going to do PIO, we're going to do T25, whatever. And it's a nice opportunity. That kickoff is a nice opportunity to start coaching, particularly somebody who wants to create their own financial independence. So I recommend saying to people who pick up a challenge pack, maybe don't squander that. But you want people to do what's right for them, what's comfortable. So then after that happens, we've created a new product that works. You show real proof they work. You compel people to start, retain them long enough to see results, and then you give the people incentive to share their results. The whole thing repeats. Now, we've had coaches who have been with us for years, and I've seen them go through sort of stages of, you know, that sort of steep ramp up. I want to be an elite coach. I want to be at the top. I want to be an elite 10 or whatever. And like, I know it gets boring. Like there's something about it, it's like, well, what do I do? I'm rich now. I've got an awesome pool. I've got 5 cars. And I've got all these people, and I'm getting checks. I check my bank account. There's more money there. What do? You go right back to here. This is where it is. And I'm saying that because this is what I do. This is what I do every single day. I look back at this, how many more people can we reach? I look, what products can we create that are going to reach more people, that are going to reinvigorate this thing? And all right, I didn't tell the first group I did this, but let me tell you about some of the products coming up next year. Just kidding, I'm not doing it. You tried to get me to do it, you tricksters. Y'all got me leaning in. But no, they are so good. See, here's the thing. I live my life kind of a year in advance. Like, I literally know what's going to come out this time next year. Like, so we're like, oh, and it's coming out. Size is coming out. I'm like, God, that is so last year. Whatever. Okay, done there. Okay. So last time you're going to see it. Retired. No. But there is some stuff coming next year that is going to, this is you, next year, 4 times. It's so good. Oh man, it's so good. Like literally, like I know what times of the year, I know when your head is gonna explode. I'm like your psychic friend, just so you know. And it is really exciting. So anyway, so that's my job. My job is I work with these fitness and nutrition experts. It's the FNE department. Funny. And we come up with things. We talk to the trainers, and we talk about what their new ideas are, and we see what you would like and what you're doing. And we're like, ooh, I see what you like over there. And then we're creating it. Like, it's going to be so good. And then You get in there, you show the product works, and the cycle repeats. And until we've reached everybody, and we're not even close, this company is a tiny, teeny little speck in a petri dish based on how much opportunity there is for us. This is the business model. I hope I remember, I'm going to post this on Facebook, so if you want to pick it up there or share it with your teams or whatever, but this is how the thing works. And it's that simple. And you can see that our vital behaviors are right in there, right? Be the proof the product works. Invite, invite, invite. The reason we have 3 invites in there is we want every invitation to be like 3. Yeah! Like you go for it. You want to be that excited about it. And what I'm talking about there is intensity. Again, I'm talking about the next 12 months. What I want for you, it's the same thing I said to Jeff opening ceremony backstage. I said, dude, our job is not to put on a great show. Our job is not to impress everybody with that we can do this event. Our job is to help you guys achieve your goals. If you want to create some wealth, some independence, put your kids through school, figure out a way to just stay at home with your kids and spend more time with the family, or travel the world, or whatever it is, you're going to have to find a way to find your own inner intensity. And you're going to have to find a way to do it in everything that you touch around this business. This has to be looked at like a profession. You can't look at it like that side thing that I do, unless it is a side thing that you do, and then you can do it however you want. But if you want to be one of those elite, if you want to be on those trips, if you want to be getting those checks and those bonuses, because by the way, there is nothing wrong with creating massive wealth inside a business that is costing society trillions of dollars of wasted money and productivity.
Amen.
But you have to go about it with intensity. Your workouts need to have intensity. Your approach to nutrition, when you're in the middle of a program, if you do the 3-day refresh, if you do the ultimate reset, man, do it all the way. You got to compel people to start with intensity. Your belief that these products work is what's going to excite them. That enthusiasm that they see, we talked about it in the opening. We talked about these coaches that they didn't even know. So they're putting it on their Facebook pages, they're talking to people about it. They don't even know that it's actually 3 layers deeper that people are being attracted to their businesses. But it's the intensity, it's repetition, it's the fact that they believe that this stuff works because they live it. That's the way you've got to go about this. You have to find your inner intensity. And then you got to keep people accountable to their goals. Remember how I said you're actually a better business model for solving the trend of obesity and helping people achieve their goals than the infomercials? That's because you can keep them accountable to their goals. But you have to do that with intensity. That is the work, capital W, if you want this to be a profession for you that really pays off. And then, like the secret vital behavior that we don't talk about, it's the silent vital behavior, I guess, but it's recognition. And like, I'm learning this more this year than at any time in my career. Like, I've got to do it better. I've got to do a better job of recognizing. And by the way, this is an opportunity for me to do that. How impressive were those celebrity trainers this morning? Outrageous. Like, I think we take for granted what they do, but I mean, they're posing for pictures for hours with people. Their hair's getting pulled, people are pulling jewelry off them, and you know, and that it can be grueling. And they do that, you know, gladly, and they love it, and they love Summit, and then they wake up at 4 a.m. to prep for a shoot and carry a group of 20,000 people through this workout. And Sean's losing his voice, and they're exhausted, and it's just like it's amazing the kind of people that we have, and that's the kind of recognition I need to do more of, and it's what you need to do. It's a vital behavior that I see with Wednesday night and Thursday and Friday. I can see the people who are on it because they're recognizing people who step up in rank, people who have achieved Success Club, the people who maybe if they just signed a coach, they recognize it. In fact, the earlier you are in the business, you want to teach this to your teams. The earlier you are in the business, you want to recognize every little thing. You know, Valerie took her fiber sweep today. Awesome, Valerie. You know, you recognize as much as you can when you're just looking for stuff to recognize. And then Valerie's like, hey, nobody recognized me, particularly not for taking fiber. I want to be a coach. So you do that recognition, you post it on Facebook, you tag people, and then all of a sudden they start to be like, I want to be a part of what that is. I want to be a part of what that ecosystem's about. But you got to approach it with intensity. Now, The other vital behavior that I didn't mention yet, but it's also the way I want you and your teams to approach this business, is with personal development, I want you to be curious. I want you to be curious about how to expand your business, and I don't want you to be salespeople. Now, there's a couple of layers to this, and the reason I'm bringing this up under the context of vital behaviors, you know, we have personal development, and I'm actually reading a book right now that I would strongly recommend. It's called A Curious Mind by Brian Grazer. You know that producer? He did like Apollo 13. A Secret to a Bigger Life. It's called A Curious Mind, A Secret to a Bigger Life. Let me give you a couple quotes to add context to this. Curiosity will conquer fear even more than bravery. I think that's a great quote. And curiosity is what creates empathy. To care about someone, you must wonder about them. The reason that I raise curiosity and be curious as an important aspect of what I want you to do for the next 12 months is, too often I see selling. Now remember, this is our personal business meeting here, so this is my chance to just tweak things a little bit that I see. And I see people posting, and it makes perfect sense when we have a special, and you know, we do the blowout in July or June, and then we do another blowout around November. That's great, you want to get those specials out there. But what's way more important is that you're talking to people. You're being curious. You're having the courage to be curious about them. The more curious you are, the more helpful you can be to them. The most effective salesmen I've ever met are my father and my uncle, who you might have met out there, Waterboy guys, right? And I apologize on behalf of my uncle, he can be kind of out there. But he's awesome. But these guys are unbelievable salespeople, and they're unbelievable salespeople because they are curious. I would watch these guys in action, and they would talk and ask questions, and I'd be like, oh, you know, that conversation's over. And my dad, he would keep asking questions, and it wasn't just like probing, trying to get at his goal. He was really curious about what was going on for people. But there was another aspect to this which is so important and might be the most innovative thing that I'm going to say today that I hope you take with you. You have to be curious about the product catalog that you represent. So we did this massive launch of products this week, right? So you've got the Shakeology Boosts, Beachbody Performance line, you got Size, like you've got so much to absorb, plus everything going on with Shakeology and all the flavors. Can you name all the flavors like that? Do you know what is in the Ultimate Reset? Do you know what's in the 3-day refresh? Which one can you work out in? Which one can you not, should you not work out if you want the best results? My point is, it's one thing to be curious this way with your prospects, but if you're curious and you get questions and people want information, you have got to have a bank of curiosity back here that can back it up, right? And that's going to make you a better coach. Now, I'm not asking you to be a fitness expert or a nutrition expert, but the more you know about these products, the more you know about Beachbody On Demand, how it works, how long is the membership, what is the price, what's available, what do you have to buy in order for it to be available, the more you know about that, man, people are going to believe you. They're going to have belief that you are a true coach. Capital C. You've got to be curious, though. That's the work. You've got to understand. If somebody says to you, well, you know, look, Mom, my energy's fine, I have my coffee and everything, but I'm really not a good workout in the morning person. Like, are you going to know? Do I recommend Focus Energy? Do I recommend Beachbody Performance Energize? Obviously, it's Beachbody Performance Energize. But what if they try it one time and they say, yeah, my fingers got all tingly, and that didn't feel right? Are you going to know that that is actually a signal that this stuff is circulating through your body? That that actually is a good thing. That's the signal. It's go time, man. Are you going to be curious enough so that when you're curious about that prospect, you can answer a question like, oh, this is the product for you. Oh, you got a bad knee? You got a tough shoulder? Do you know about this program, PIO? Like, does this stuff automatically come to your mind? And I apologize, unlike any other network marketing company out there, there is so much to know and to understand, but we are trying to solve a real problem. Unlike every other, well, I won't say every other, unlike most MLMs, we are trying to solve an issue here. an issue of wellness, an issue of self-esteem, a trend of obesity, which means we have to step up higher. Nobody's been able to do this. You don't think they haven't wanted to stop a trend of obesity for decades? The Center for Disease Control, you know, companies, insurance companies, costing them tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars a year. Everybody wants to solve this. This is like, we're sitting on a mountain of gold right here. But to get to it, we got to dig. We got to dig for information in terms of what Beachbody represents, what we have, what we offer, and we got to dig for information in terms of what the goals are of the person, what their challenges are, what have you failed at before. Be curious. That's what you're going to do for the next 12 months, and you will be so successful as a coach, quasi-salesman, right? Let me tell you who inspires me the most about curiosity. Like, I watched this play out for me. My 7-year-old son, Dan. He's a first grader, and I got a report from his teacher that Danny is like one of the most curious kids she's ever seen. And now look, most teachers, bosses, parents, the last thing you want is a curious kid. It's like, oh, come on already. Gluten-free is just better, just eat it. I don't know, it says GF, just eat that thing. But you know what? Curiosity is like this signal of intellect, and it's a signal of caring about the information in the world around them. And on one hand, it's dangerous. On the other hand, it's incredibly valuable. The more curious we are, the more questions we ask of our government and society, the better things we'll get. Well, here's this kid, this 7-year-old, and they're teaching him about marine life, and they're talking about jellyfish. And he's looking at this, and he's fascinated. Going on, and they do about 20 minutes on jellyfish, and then it's time for recess. He's in a class of about 6 or 7 kids. And so teacher's like, okay, recess again. He's like, wait. How do I know which one's a boy and which one's a girl? And why does it take that shape? And can they live in seawater? And can they live in fresh water? And why are they different colors? And what are those things that hang down there? And how long do they live? And so the other kids are like, we're ready to play. And the teacher's like, it's snack time for me too. And Danny's like, no, I want to know. So the teacher was kind enough and spent another hour and a half with him on jellyfish. An hour and a half. Like he was like, wants to know. And then when they came back to jellyfish, like a couple days later, one of the kids was like struggling, was asking a question. You know, hey, you know, how do I tell if it's a boy or a girl? Danny was like, you know what? That confused me too. Let me tell you about this. Here's how you know. I still don't know, actually. I'm sorry if you're wondering. Google it. But here's the point. Here's how this relates. If you're that curious about the Shakeology boosts, why is this fiber different than that fiber? Why is this energy different than that energy? Why is this workout program structured this way and that one structured that? Ask the questions. That means that when one of your challengers asks the question, you're going to be like, you know what, I had that same question, and I looked it up, and here's what I know. Be curious. Another little story about Danny, because I love this one. So they were teaching him, after they picked the marine life that they wanted most, so for their year-end project, before the summer, they wanted to create a little keynote. First grade, they're teaching them how to work keynote, right? And the kids are learning, and here's how you put text in, you type it in, great, and here's how you do a transition, and Danny's looking around, he's like, well, what's that do? She's like, well, that makes it like sparkle, and this one sort of is a tumbling thing, this has a sound effect. So we get to the presentation day, and the kids are going through, this is what a sandpiper does, and this is how, and you know, it's clicking through the thing, and then Danny's comes, and it's like, jellyfish. Explore the world of jellyfish with me. All these tumbling transitions. It was hysterical. But it was curious, man. Like, he was like hours. Like one Saturday I woke up and he was just like on his little computer. He's like, I'm learning keynote, Dad. And he's asking me questions. He was like so into it. I'm like, wow, that's where excellence comes from. And it also comes from being organized. People ask me, what would I do if I was a coach, right? And it wouldn't be any different really than the way I do my CEO thing. My office is filled with whiteboards. Like all the walls are pretty much whiteboards. And I have what my objectives are for the year, revenue objectives, Shakeology retention, Shakeology terms, improvements in formulation, improvement in or product development timeline. I've got the business cycle that I talked about over here. I've got what I call my paranoia list, things that are really bothering me. I'm sure you could know what they are. And so, you know, I've got this all around me. So I'm, like, anytime I look up, I know what I'm on. And if I was a coach, I would have my sort of my dashboard, right? I'd have prospects that I was working on. I would have it written down. What have they said? Why did they? Who said no? Why? What did I learn? What prospects did they? What did they refer me to? Who did they refer me to? The ones that I signed up. Where are they in the sign-up process? And here's an important one. Where are they in the process of achieving Success Club? I'm so blown away. You know, I get on the phone with coaches all the time, and it always shocks me when I get on the phone. So here we are, June 18th, or July 18th. That's today, right? So how many of you know your key personally sponsored coaches and how close they are to Success Club this month? You got to know this information, man. You got to be organized if you want to be a leader. You need to know where they are on the process of being a team leader. You got to know this stuff. You got to know how close is that person. How is that new coach doing? Are they in the Coach Basics? Are they in a Coach Basics group? You got to be organized about that. You got to understand, toward the end of the month, when people are having a hard time getting into Success Club, are they, like, do a reminder. Put it in your phone now. Always 7 to 10 days from the end of the month, remind people about the money-back guarantee. Tell my team to make sure that prospects who are on the fence, there's a money-back guarantee for the challenge pack for becoming a coach for this crazy shake. Like, you got to use that. So many times you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that. And that's like this thing that if you're organized, you know, I'd have it on big stickers, what I do on key dates of the month. And then I would have my calls with my team and make sure that they understood the importance of organization as well. And that leads me to this, like, what I think is the most important thing for you for the next 12 months. You've got to be ambitious. I was in a meeting the other day and I said, I made the statement that, oh look, the way July's going, if everybody that's at Summit manages to sell 2 challenge packs, so again, we've got 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme in size now through the end of the month. If everybody here gets 2 new challengers in a challenge pack, and then each one of you influences just one person on your team. So you got 20,000 people here, you got another 210, 220,000 out there who aren't here. If we can just get one more challenge pack, this will be a record-breaking month for us. July will be. And I said, you know what? And then with the Team Cup, I expect August to be our best month ever. And somebody in the meeting was like, you can't break a record every month. And I was like, who said that? Can I have your parking card? I don't need that anymore. Why not? We are a part of this business, like a $1 trillion opportunity that nobody else has cracked the code because nobody else has put it together, a comprehensive approach to fitness, nutrition, support from you, and rewards. Nobody has put that together. Why not break a record every month for you? That's my goal. There is not a month, you ask Jeff Hill, there is not a month that we don't start where I go, Jeff, I'm really concerned that we're not going to break a record this month. What are we going to do? And we amp it up, and I know you guys hear it right after that call. Carl's concerned that we're not going to break a month. Jeff, you told us that last month. But that's the way it is. Why not you? If you got Success Club 5, don't get Success Club 5 and go, woohoo, let's go to the pool. No, you go, I'm going to get 6 this month. I'm going to get 7 next month. I'm going to get 10. I'm going to get 15. Like, when you hear the numbers tonight of what the top 10 do, it is mind-blowing. But they are no different than you, except they have found their ambition. And that's what you need to find. And by the way, regardless of your level of success or where you are, and if you have been to the top of the mountain, I do not want to hear complaining, because you just have to find new ambition. And because I'm saying that because I'm prone to it too. If I find that I get restless or bored with the opportunity, that means that I'm disengaged, that I've gotten too macro and I've got to get down. Yesterday I was in my hotel room and I'm like, God, I just feel like I'm not at Summit. So I just went straight down to core, and I got beside the IJM booth, and I'm like, let's do a bunch of pictures and get a bunch of people here and get people donating at the same time. I'm like, I gotta be in this if I want to feel it all the way. It doesn't mean I'm gonna elevate up to management level. Sometimes you have to stay down on the ground, engaged and ambitious, man, because you're gonna show your team what it takes to churn it. The people who have the power to stomp on the gas and churn and make it happen, you have an obligation to share that fire, because that fire is what's going to ignite other people, and they're going to see it in your posts, they're going to see it in your attitude, they're going to see it in your results, and they're going to see it when you're not churning, and that's okay too. They're going to see it when you're like, I'm not feeling it right now, and guess what happens? When you post that, you're going to post it, and you're going to be embarrassed to post it, and they're going to go like, oh my God, she's human too. I can be human now too. And the team's going to get closer together. The point is you share. But when you can turn it on, like, I'm going to give you tomorrow off, and Monday, you turn it on, man. You've got to be ambitious about this business. We cannot sit still. This is a really big deal for you. For you, this is a huge deal. If you want to be financially independent, treat this like a profession. Work with the regionals, work with your upline. Find some way, again, in your little organizational dashboard, find something that says, is my negative voice talking to me? The snake in the room. You got to be aware of that thing, because it's going to want to blame something for the reason that it's not working for you. It's always going to be there. You got to watch that little tricky guy that's going to come in here. Oh, well, their customer service sucks. That's why I can't get Success Club. Or the bag was broken when the shake got there. So, Beachbody sucks. Somehow, there's these other people that are generating $20,000, $25,000 a month. Some of them a week. Like, it's outrageous. And that doesn't mean that Beachbody won't constantly work on improving. And I'm telling you, that's my promise to you. All this stuff. We got people who are busting ass to make customer service. By August, you should see some enormous training happening, and we'll start to really surface in August. Total overhaul of operations. Technology, we have a thing we call Watch It Wednesday, because we know Wednesday is when all this volume hits the system, and like the slightest little thing that's off, man, it just breaks. For some reason on Wednesday, and that's when you need it the most. Like everybody's literally like at their computer, like watch it, watch it, watch it. And I think, we're like, can we go 2 Wednesdays in a row with that? Like, no, we didn't do it. Can we go 3? So anyway, we're working on our stuff, but that doesn't mean that we as a team don't work together just to get through it. You got to watch the negative part of your voice, because at the end of the day, what we always can do is give people their money back if we screw it up. But if we can get the products in their hands, get them into Beachbody on demand, get them drinking that shake, you're going to make an impact in people's lives. We've got to get over the excuses, got to get the negative voice. I'm not a good salesperson. I don't know anybody. We got leaders up in the Upper Peninsula of, where is that place? Michigan? The UP, like killing it up there, and there's only moose. But they're killing it. And it's awesome. And I'm so proud of everybody who manages to find that. So be ambitious for yourself, okay? All right. Now, you've heard about that we changed the time tonight, right? That it's 8 o'clock? Okay. It's a little hot over there, so sort of be prepared.